Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, Andy here. I coach men and women on living lives of abundance and joy. If they can all do it, you sure as hell can too. Let's give out a little bit of free coaching today. We have a comment here from a guy called EMAP who says, any advice on how to accept/cope with the fact that your dating life is always going to be largely restricted by your genetics? There is only so much to do in regards to improving appearance, and I personally have done essentially everything I can to Looksmaxxed, in addition to getting several pro photo shoots, but I still have a very rough time with online dating. I really want to stay positive, but at this point I feel like I've done basically everything I can to present myself as good as possible, but results are still bad, purely due to genetic limitations when it comes to appearance. Okay, there's a lot that I can say here. First of all, good job opening up and being this brave to share all of this and share some of your feelings. I did a video recently, and maybe we'll start with this. So go on my channel, just search for the word inner game or looksmaxing, and you'll see this video I did here about which one helps more. Your mindset, otherwise known as inner game, or improving your appearance, improving your looks. And one of the things I said is obviously they're both incredibly helpful when we're talking specifically about dating. I guess also socializing, stuff like that as well. But your mindset, your positivity, your stoicism, your ability to play to win instead of playing not to lose is the thing that will matter absolutely 10 trillion times more than your appearance. And so we could tell the story that you have improved your appearance, and I don't know what you look like, and I would probably recommend you just pay me for a $200 coaching call so I can actually see properly. A lot of the time guys have a really fucking incredibly shocking, they're just not very good at telling whether or not they're attractive or not. So many times a guy will come to us for coaching and say, I've Looksmaxxed, I've done everything I can to improve my appearance, and we're like, bro, you've done such a good job, but no, there's lots more work we can do. There's a lot more we can do to improve. So I don't trust you when you say that you've Looksmaxxed and done pro photo shoots. I don't know what any of that looks like. So you'd make my job a lot easier if you just jump on a coaching call with me. I can give you a proper answer. But let's assume that you have improved your appearance a hell of a lot. You probably have. Let's assume you look really good. What you haven't worked on as much is your mindset. And so you might say, my looks are a fucking 8 out of 10 or something. From what you've written here, and I say this with love, my brother, your attitude is like a 3 out of 10. And you might be like, well, what are you talking about? Your attitude is a 3 out of 10, and that's okay. My attitude used to be a 0 out of 10 when I was depressed and suicidal. Attitude and mindset and inner game is just something that you can work on. Positivity, stoicism, playing to win, all of that stuff. But I would go out on a limb and say you probably don't have a copy of the Play to Win video course, or if you do, you probably haven't really gone deep on it and actually done the actionable advice that I have in it. You probably haven't followed the steps because you definitely aren't playing to win. You definitely don't have a winner's mindset right now, and that's okay. That's, again, something that we can improve. But you're incredibly negative in this. You're also incredibly stuck on your stories, and I can see a lot of attachment to your stories. Like, look at the first thing you've written here. Your dating life is always going to be largely restricted by your genetics. Is that true? You think it's true, and a lot of you think it's true. But which one of you is the expert, you or me? Which one has done this? Not you, clearly. You're literally saying, I am not having the results I want, so you don't know. So if you were to tell the truth would be, I don't know if my dating life is going to be largely restricted by genetics. But what you've stated is, it is a fact. You literally used the word fact. It is a fact that your dating life is largely restricted by your genetics. How do you fucking know? You don't. I am telling you, as the person that has coached hundreds of people, that has a sex life that he is very, very, very deeply happy with and content with, it is not largely restricted by your genetics. The biggest restriction or limiting belief or limiting factor is your mindset. I've talked about this literally hundreds of times. Again, your attitude and your mindset, and this is okay. I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad about yourself, but your mindset is like a 3 out of 10. And so, yeah, you might have improved your appearance to the fact where you might be like a 9 out of 10 or some shit. You might look like an absolute god, but your mindset and your attitude and your negativity and your hopelessness and your attachment to your stories and the fact you think you know when you're not the expert, you are literally saying it is a fact. How the fuck do you know, brother? You don't know jack shit. You're literally not good at the thing that you're talking about here. In your own words, you are not good at having sex and dating and relationships. Literally, you are not an expert in it by your own words. Why are you stating facts? Why are you talking as if you know? These are, limiting beliefs that you're attaching to like they're the gospel truth. No, brother. And so if you could show up with a little bit more of an open mind or a humble attitude or a little bit less of like, I know, it's a fact. No, you don't know jack shit. You haven't done this. And this applies to literally any of you watching, by the way. If you're watching, you probably don't have the sex life that you want. Otherwise, why would you be watching? You'd be off there enjoying it. If you could just let go, all of you, of some of the fucking stories that you have that are literally not true and not backed up by actual reality, they're backed up by your tiny little sample size and your attachment to your narratives. But so many of you are so attached to stories that are literally just not true. Like they're straight up not true. And a big part of my mission with the content and definitely with my coaching is to get in there and say, is that true? Here we go. We're going to hear yet another lie that the person, or a mistruth, a falsehood, that the person is going to peddle as if it's a fact. Again, you literally use the word fact. And I'm going to sit through this again and go, okay, is that true? And then we'll play around with it for a bit, explore it a bit. Eventually, through several weeks of coaching, the person will go, maybe it's not true that my results are completely or fucking largely restricted by my genetics. Maybe it was my 3 out of 10 attitude. And again, brother, it's okay that your attitude is a little lacking. Mine used to be too. Still is to some extent in many ways. I'm still improving my mindset and letting go of limiting beliefs and all of that and my ego and blah, blah, blah. But yeah, that's kind of my mission with the coaching is like, you don't understand. None of you understand. Some of you understand. But a lot of you don't understand how much you're just in your own way without realizing it. Your ego is the thing that's holding you back. Your attachment to your narratives is what's holding you back. And the fact that a lot of you think that you're correct when you don't know what you're talking about. Like literally, are you an expert in this thing? No. Then why are you saying this is how it is? It's like when you go into like incel communities or black pill communities, these are literally people that don't know how to have sex and relationships and dating, don't know in many cases how to be happy, and are talking as if they're the expert on happiness, dating, sex, relationships, mindset, psychology, genetics, etc. Anyway, that's a separate discussion for another day. But yeah, my brother, I would play around with this a little bit. Why the fuck am I stating facts when I'm not an expert at something? How about I just shut the fuck up? And that's not me telling you to shut the fuck up. I'm sort of saying that to the ego. Ego. EMAP means ego. Shh. Sit down. Stop stating facts. So let's insert a little bit of truth here, okay? Genetics have a huge impact on your dating results, of course. Let's say genetics have a 30% impact on your dating results. But again, mindset has a 70% impact on your dating results. I've used this guy as an example a billion times. This is a lovely dude called Nick Vujicic. And Nick, in case you can't tell, was born without arms and legs. Like, look at this picture here. There's no arms and no legs. That's pretty shit genetics, isn't it? That's pretty fucking terrible. God damn it, I don't want to be born without arms and legs. And Nick will tell you, he is blessed to be born without arms and legs. He has a beautiful wife named Kanye, this lovely lady here. They have 4 children together. He travels the world and he gives motivational speeches and encourages other people to not let their fucking disabilities or genetics be an excuse or be a reason to beat themselves up. And so if Nick fucking Vujicic can be happy and have beautiful results and a beautiful wife and lovely kids and travel the world and make a lot of money and all of that, you have absolutely no fucking excuses when it comes to genetics. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, this guy has no arms and no legs. Here is another example. So if you go to Playing with Fire, my friend Alex, this is his channel. Just search on his channel for the word disabled, and there is this video here, how a severely disabled guy got a girlfriend. This guy has pretty fucking shit genetics. There's actually 2 videos about him, this one down here. He has pretty shit genetics. He was born with cerebral palsy. Look at the picture on the left here. Look, this is him at the start on the left in that video. Oh my God, don't you think that that is not what we would call the best genetics in the entire world? Would you rather be born with cerebral palsy and, this guy's a beautiful fucking human being, but I'll try and say this in a nice way. Would you rather be born with this guy's genetics or your own? You would probably rather have your own. And yet this guy has a girlfriend. This guy has been with his girlfriend for 2 years. They recently moved in together. It's a huge success story. Alex helped him a hell of a lot and coached him. It's really quite a beautiful story, over 2 years. So here's a video 2 years ago when they first started working together. And here's a video 3 months ago. And so again, that's someone with not great genetics. We could tell that story. Does he sit there and say, like, it's not fair, I have shit genetics, I'm, limited by my genetics? No, he shuts the fuck up and he gets to work and he takes the action. And so what you're doing here, again, this is another story that you probably don't realize that you're telling. You're telling a story that you're held back by your genetics. And along with that is feelings of like hopelessness and it's not fair and nothing I do will really make a difference. And you said, I've done everything I possibly can, but results are bad. They're bad, are they? They're bad. Or are you just really bad at celebrating your victories? Again, is your mindset bad or are your results bad? I'm telling you right now, your mindset's bad or has room for improvement. Maybe we won't say it's bad, but there's a lot of room for improvement in your mindset. And so instead of looking at your genetics as a large restriction, what I would call that is ungrateful. You're ungrateful right now. And that's okay. Most people are constantly ungrateful all the time for basically everything in their life, including me, by the way. It's the way that our brains work. I did a video on this recently. This video here, how to be grateful for the little things, featuring a homeless legend. And I literally talked about all the things that I often take for granted and I'm not fully grateful for. But you right now are probably not realizing that you are deeply fucking ungrateful for the beautiful genetics that you have been given. You are so obsessed with your shit-ass story of like, I have bad genetics. No, you're not. You were not born without arms and legs. You have your fucking limbs. You were not born with a severe disability that affects the way you look, drastically affects the way that you speak. People with cerebral palsy, I'm not going to mimic it, but you don't sound like you have great genetics when you speak with cerebral palsy. You walk with a limp, all sorts of stuff. For fuck's sakes, you were born with great genetics. And you're so busy saying, I'm restricted by my genetics, they're shit. No, you're ungrateful. And my brother, that is okay. Again, the vast majority of human beings on this planet are ungrateful, including myself, for all the beautiful gifts that we have been given. You have been given good genetics and you're so fucking busy saying that they're bad that you're not appreciating them. You are self-judgmental. You are literally looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm not good enough. Fucking hell, do you think with that attitude, someone else would want to be with you? You literally think that you're not attractive. Why the fuck should some woman think that you're attractive when you don't? You literally think you're not good enough. Why the fuck should some other woman think that you are good enough? You are the one that is judging, and then you're accusing or assuming that women and, the greater dating pool is judging you. It's you, my brother. It's always been you. Again, your mindset is a 3 out of 10. And yes, you've done beautiful work to improve your appearance. That's incredible. That will absolutely help with your dating results. Of course it will. But while your mindset is stuck where it is stuck, you are not going to have the results that you want. Again, Nick Vujicic, no arms, no legs, has a beautiful wife. The guy that I just showed you with cerebral palsy, a severe disability, has a girlfriend of 2 years and they moved in together. I could give you so many examples of my coaching clients who were not super Looksmaxxed. You probably look better than a lot of my clients. I have worked with people that are literally morbidly obese. There was one guy that was very fucking morbidly obese and slept with 2 women in his time in the coaching. How? Because his mindset wasn't as low as yours is. His mindset was still pretty fucking low, but he actually had a slightly or a decently better mindset than you have. And he was able to not reject himself and not judge himself, even though, yes, he had a lot of temptation to judge himself for being obese. But he had better results than, I don't know what your results are. You probably are going on dates. You probably are getting matches. You're probably just saying the results are still bad. I can't tell you how many times I've heard from someone or worked with someone who's like, I'm getting bad results. I'm getting no results. This sucks. And I'm like, there's literally a guy in my coaching group right now who has the same mindset as you. He's like a 3 out of 10 in terms of mindset. And he is so busy saying, I'm never getting any results. I'm not making progress. And I'm like, bro, you literally slept with 2 women in the last 2 weeks. And he's like, yeah, but it doesn't count. And I'm like, sorry, why did those 2 not count? Are they not human beings? Do they not count as people that you slept with and had a good time with? Why don't they count? Well, because one of them was a little bit shy during sex and she was a little bit insecure about her body. And then the other one, it took a little while for us to have sex. We had to talk for a couple of hours before we had sex. So that doesn't count. And I'm like, excuse me, what the fuck are you saying? You're probably doing the same thing, my friend. Your mindset is so low that you're not able to celebrate your wins. And I bet you, if you're honest, you're having victories right now. I bet you you're making progress. I bet you you're having success. You're just not very good at celebrating it. And this is why I know you haven't really taken the Play to Win video course seriously, or maybe you don't even have a copy of it, because there's a chapter down here that is really, really relevant to what I'm talking about. Self-reflection, mindfulness, and gratitude, how to not move the goalposts. And in this chapter, I literally talk about how to celebrate the little victories and not say things like, I'm not making any progress. I'm having no success. You are having success. You're just not humble enough to celebrate it. You think that you have to go out and have like fucking 10 threesomes or something before it counts as success. No, celebrate the tiny little victories. That's what this chapter is for. So it's not that you're making no success. You're just not celebrating it. And I have never met an exception to this. I have never found a single person who, when they say they're having no results or they're making no progress or they're having no success, I've never found a single person who was accurately assessing their own progress. Literally every single time someone says to me, I'm making no progress, I say, bullshit, I don't believe that. Let's come up with 3 ways that you're making progress, or 3 reasons why you're having results. Are you going on more dates than you were 3 years ago? Yes, then that's results. Are you matching with more women than you were before you did the photo shoots and before you improved your appearance? Yes, then that's results. Are women more into you than they were before? Yes, then that's results. You're just moving the goalposts and saying it only counts if they sleep with me. I'm sure if we went back in time 3 years ago, you would have said something like, I would just like a woman to be nice to me. If I could just get a couple of matches on Tinder, then that would be a success and I'd be happy. And then you move the goalposts and you get your couple of matches and you say, that doesn't count. They don't count. Now I need them to go on dates with me. Then you probably go on a couple of dates and you're like, no, I need them to sleep with me. Otherwise it doesn't count. I'm not having any results. It's like, motherfucker, a year ago, you said you would have just given anything to have a woman to be nice to you. Now there's like 20 women a week being nice to you and you're saying it doesn't count. On top of everything I've just said, you're sitting here saying, I'm having a rough time with online dating. This is struggling. I'm doing all of this, blah, blah, blah. Go the fuck outside and talk to women. Like, go the fuck outside and talk to women. Anytime your online dating results are not what you want them to be, which I don't trust your assessment of the results in the first place, but anytime you're feeling a little frustrated with online dating, go the fuck outside and walk up to women and say, hello, you're pretty. Can I talk to you? Are you single? You're hot. What's up? Go do more. There is always more than you can do. Again, focus on playing to win instead of playing not to lose. Your entire post, and this is okay, man. And again, you're very brave for posting all of this. I hope that's obvious. But your entire post is like a 3 out of 10 in terms of mindset. And that's okay. There's work to be done there. Go read the fucking Play to Win video course. Pay me $200 for a coaching call, and I will get right in there with a fucking scalpel, brother. And we will start improving this mindset. And you can show me your pictures. You can show me your appearance, all of that. I'll give you feedback. I promise I'll be nice. I won't be too hard on you. I know I've gone a little hard on you in this video, but that's just because you're telling a bunch of bullshit, and I want to shine the light of truth onto that. Like, your whole post is just straight up wrong. It's just straight up lie. There's like every sentence is incorrect. Literally every sentence is incorrect. I have done everything I can to Looksmaxxed. Bullshit, wrong. There's always more that you can do. My dating life is largely restricted by my genetics. Bullshit, wrong. It's largely restricted by your mindset and your attitude and your positivity and where you are on the map of consciousness. You right now are very negative and you're very fear-based and frustrated and hopeless. Yeah, dating's a lot harder when you feel like that. If you just woke up every day and you were full of love, positivity, excitement, you would go outside and talk to like fucking 50 women a day. How many women are you talking to outside every day? I already know you're not talking to a ton, or you wouldn't have written this. You'd be like, yo, bro, I hit on 50 women this week and a couple of them slept with me. Great. Like you're just not playing. I know you're not playing the numbers game as much as you need to be. There is more you can do to improve your appearance, but definitely your mindset as well. I'm having a rough time with online dating. I really want to stay positive. No, you really like being negative, and that's okay. That's because you're getting a payoff from it. You enjoy the feeling of hopelessness like most people do, because when we feel hopeless, we don't have to try as hard. We get to be the victim. We get to say it's not fair. We get to reinforce our narratives. You have a very strong narrative or story that dating is going to be largely restricted by genetics, and therefore my genetics are not very good, which is another load of bullshit. You have your arms and your legs. You're probably reasonably attractive. You probably have good genetics. You could be grateful for them. I've done everything I can to present myself as good as possible. No, you haven't. Literally reading your paragraph here. If this is your attitude, and again, really good job opening up. But if this is your attitude, you're taking this attitude to dating. Why should a woman date you when this is your attitude? You are this negative. This is not attractive to people. And that's okay. You can improve this, but this is not attractive. You're being the victim. You're saying it's hopeless. This is not sexy. This is not sexy to anyone, especially not women. And again, that's okay. You've done a beautiful job sharing your feelings. I love you for that. That's incredible. You're going to say my results are still bad. No, you're probably just really bad at giving yourself credit and being grateful. You have an issue with being grateful. I can already tell that. You're not very grateful. You probably have better genetics than 50% of the population on Earth immediately. If not, you probably have better genetics than like 90% of the population, but you're just ungrateful for it. Results are still bad. Don't believe that when it comes to a print. Okay. So I think I've gone reasonably hard on you there. I've dismantled literally every sentence you've written here and why it's like literally fucking just a load of bullshit. Let's give you a bit of love. Let's end this with a bit of love. Because yes, I went very hard on you here. Probably just because, I don't know, it feels like you could do with a wake up. But you have done a really beautiful job sharing all of this. You've done a really good job of being open and honest. You've done a very good job of being vulnerable. You've done a really good job of improving your appearance, I assume. I don't know what you look like. Honestly, man, just pay me $200. This would be way easier. It's kind of, I'll say this in a clumsy way. It's kind of fucking weird that a lot of you want me to solve some of your problems or a lot of your problems in a comment. Like, just pay me for coaching. This is like fucking impossible mode. Like trying to improve you or help you or fix your mindset or work with you or overcome your hopelessness when we're not even talking to each other. It's just like playing on nightmare mode, bro. So pay me $200 and we'll fucking jump on a call. But you've done a really good job. Like you really have. You've improved a ton. And the good news, anytime I say your mindset is like a 3 out of 10, that might sound like a criticism. No, it's an empowerment. Think about how much room you have to grow with your mindset. It is a beautiful thing that your mindset is like a 3 out of 10. And I just made that number up, but we can tell the story that your mindset is like a 3 out of 10. That's cool. Imagine how much better your dating results will be. More to the point, imagine how much happier you will be, because you sound very fucking hopeless and unhappy. Imagine how much happier you'll be when you work on the mindset. So the next goal for you is, can I get the mindset to a 4 out of 10? Like I said, I would go and grab a copy of the Play to Win video course. I would go through every single chapter and do literally everything that's in it. I would especially tackle the chapter Play to Win instead of playing not to lose. Your entire post is you playing not to lose. You're like, I'm going to lose. I'm having bad results. It's not fair. I have bad genetics. I'm going to lose because I'm restricted by my genetics. I'm never going to work out. Like, it's never going to work out for me. You're playing not to lose. In fact, you're playing to lose. So I would go and check that chapter out. You also have a very fixed mindset instead of a growth mindset. So I would check this chapter out. So a fixed mindset is when you say, I'm stuck. My genetics are fixed in place and I can't do anything about it. I've maxed myself out and there's nothing more I can do. I'm stuck. No, there's always more you can do. And in your case, I would focus on the mindset. Again, I'd grab this Play to Win video course. I'd go and check out this chapter. Every problem has a solution. You're so focused on your problems, you're not even looking at solutions. Like, you've done some solutions, but you are so obsessed with your problems, brother. You're so obsessed with, like, my genetics are a problem. You're so stuck on that. You're obsessed with it. Focus on solutions. There is always more you can do. Let's talk about what you can do. Like I said, I'd work on your mindset first and foremost, but stop obsessing with problems. Absolutely go and check this fucking chapter out, Overcoming Fear, Limiting Beliefs, and Self-Doubt. That is so relevant to you. I'm sure you can imagine why. Your entire post is just a bunch of limiting beliefs and fear, and it's all wrong. Like, everything you've written is like literally not true. And so you are ruled by fear right now. I would go and check this chapter out. This chapter is relevant to you. Failure, setback, and stress, how to become resilient. I'd absolutely work on that. You could benefit from some stoicism. This is relevant to you. Everything is a story, and you're in control of the stories that you tell. You right now are stating things as if they are a fact. It is you literally said, it is a fact that I am restricted largely by my genetics. No, that's just a story. It's not even a true story. Like, you're literally just telling a false story. So I would go and check this chapter out. Absolutely check this chapter out. Right now, you're down the bottom of the map of consciousness, and that's okay. You're ruled by fear, hopelessness, apathy, a little bit of grief and sadness, and, like, it's not going to work out for me, a little bit of frustration. You're right down the bottom. If you were at the top of the map, and that's the map of consciousness there on the left-hand side, see how you're right down the bottom. If you were up at the top, if you were just full of joy and love towards yourself, which right now you're very self-critical and judgmental of your appearance and your genetics and your results and blah, blah, blah. But if you were at the top around peace, joy, love, reason, which is just being more rational, you're not really rational right now. You're saying a bunch of stuff that isn't true. Like, you're literally just not accurate. You're not being rational or reasonable. If you were higher up on that, or even just acceptance, I accept the fact that my results are what they are right now. What would I like to do about it? You would get 10,000 times the results that you're getting right now. More to the point, you'd be happier while you do it. Even if you were at neutrality, there in the middle, like you right now are saying that everything you've written here is bad. I'm getting bad results. That's you judging it. I'm trying so hard, but I have genetic limitations. If you just were neutral, and neutral means like almost you're an autistic robot who just says the exact statement of fact and doesn't judge it or say it's good or bad. If you were just like telling the neutral truth, like you haven't told any neutral truths here. I don't know how many dates you've been on in the last month, probably because you're scared to tell me that, because it's probably more than you want to admit. You're probably having better results than you want to admit. But if you just said the statements of fact, I have been on 2 dates in the last month. I get 5 matches a week on my Tinder. If I use a boost, will get another 3 matches. Right now, I'm sleeping with 1 new woman every 2 months. Like, that's being neutral. You're just saying the actual facts. But all you've written here is emotionality. I don't know if you realize that. Your entire post is emotionality. You have put no facts in here, which is funny because, like, the 10th word in your post here is the word fact, yet you have stated no facts. Like, do you realize that? And a lot of you are doing the same thing. Do you realize you put no facts in here? I have no actual facts. I don't know what you look like because you haven't shown me your pictures, which would be factual because then I could see them. You've just said, I don't look good, or my genetics are holding me back. I don't know that. You've shown me no facts. I don't know what you look like. You haven't told me how many dates you've been on. You haven't told me how many boots you use. You haven't even told me how many photo shoots you've done. You just said several. What does that mean? I don't know how many. You didn't tell me how many photos that person took. You didn't tell me if they're a good photographer or not. You didn't tell me how many photos you shot each time you went out. I don't know how many women you're sleeping with. I don't know how long you've been doing this for. I don't know if you have a support network of friends and how many friends you have. I don't know what kind of accountability you have. I don't know what you're doing to work on your mindset. I don't know if you have a copy of the Play to Win video course. I don't know what you're doing to work on being more positive. I don't know anything. You've told me nothing but feelings and emotions. Like, again, stop and think about that. Do you realize that your entire post is just emotions with no facts? There's no facts here. And anytime someone doesn't put facts in their post, they're just straight up full of shit. Like I'm not calling you full of shit. What I mean is the statements that they are making are full of shit, because otherwise you would just tell me the truth. And so what we do is, or you can kind of look at, anytime someone is being very emotional and only speaking in emotions, you are only speaking in emotions in this entire post. It is only emotions. That's all you've talked about. Anytime someone's doing that, I know they're not rational, because rational people state facts. You say, hey man, I've used 5 boosts this week. I've gotten 4 matches. I've been on 2 dates. How do I get more dates? I'm not really happy with having 2 dates a month. I'd like to have more than that. How do I do that? Like, they just talk facts to me. And that's how I know that that person is rational. But when someone only writes emotions with no actual details, like, again, you have given me literally 0 details. There is literally 0 information in your post. And you're asking me to coach you on 0 information. I'm supposed to coach you on your feelings? Your feelings aren't accurate. They're not rational. And I can't do much with them. I can listen to them, and I have, but I can't do anything. There's no facts here. And so that immediately should start to get your gears turning and go, fuck, maybe he's right. Maybe I am coming from a place of high emotionality, and that's okay. Lots of us are emotional a lot of the time, myself included. But when we're emotional, we are not rational. We are literally precluded or excluded from being rational when we're highly emotional. And again, I'm going to say this for like the 10th time because I think it might blow your fucking mind. And any of you who do the same thing, a lot of you do the same thing. A lot of you, I'm not having a go at you, EMAP, because a lot of people post like this. A lot of your comments are just emotional stuff, like all of you. It's just emotional shit. And there's like no facts in there. There's no information. There's nothing really for me to go off, just your emotions. And when you're doing that, you're not rational. So again, look at what you've written here. And any of you who can relate to this, a lot of you can relate to this. EMAP, it's not just you. There is no facts in here. You've given me nothing to go off. And that tells you that you're in a statement of, or you're in a place of high emotionality right now, and you're not rational. And so you probably shouldn't trust your view of your own results. You probably shouldn't trust your own stories of like, my dating life is always going to be largely restricted by my genetics. You are literally highly emotional, whether you realize it or not, or you're choosing to tell me only about your emotions. All you've told me about here is your emotions. Your facts, your feelings are not facts. Like Mark Manson wrote this really good article years ago called Fuck Your Feelings. And he basically said, whenever we're highly emotional, we'll talk about our emotions. We'll go, I feel hopeless, like you've said. I feel hopeless. I feel like I've done everything I can. You know, I've done these photo shoots. I'm having a rough time. I feel, you literally say the word feel. I feel like I've done everything. I want to stay positive, but I'm negative. I feel negative. I can't do this. It's hopeless. Like all you're talking about is your feelings. And again, when we talk about feelings, we're not rational. And so notice the feelings, appreciate the feelings, be grateful for them. Stick them to the side and then tell me the fucking facts. And that would be much easier on a coaching call. Again, I'm going to say this for the 10th time. Dude, just pay me for a coaching call. And then I can actually ask you questions. If we're on a coaching call right now, I would have coached you 10 times harder and 10 times quicker because I could have just said, whoa, I get all that. That's beautiful, man. Thank you for sharing your feelings with me. Now let's actually fucking talk realism and facts and reality. How many matches are you getting each week? And half the time when I ask people that question, they're like, oh, you know, it's not very many, man. It really sucks. And I'm like, stop telling me fucking emotions. Your emotions are not the answer to my question. You have not answered my question. How many matches do you get a week? And they're like, 10. Thank you. How many boosts are you using a week? I'm using a lot, man. Stop telling me your emotions. How many is a lot? 5 boosts a week, sometimes 3. Thank you. How long have you been doing this for? How many women have you slept with? Where are you at in terms of, you know, improvement? Blah, 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 blah. So I want to talk facts, information. I can't help you without that. So again, make it easier for me, pay me for coaching. But you've done a good job to open up about all of this. I was definitely very hard on you. I know that. This is probably one of the harder videos that I'm ever going to do for someone. Like I was definitely very hard on you, brother. So I promise I got nothing but love for you. But yeah, I tend to go hard sometimes. Sometimes I like to go hard and mix it up because most of the time you will get like loving, super gentle, nice Andy. Every now and then I want to give you the Andy who's like, wake up. Your entire post is emotional. Most of it's literally not true. It deviates so fucking far from reality that it's, I think it's worthy of like shaking you and saying, wake up. This is like literally not true. Especially when we get so caught up in our own beliefs and narratives and stories. We literally think our emotions are facts a lot of the time. We think that, you know, this highly emotional story we have, we're like, yeah, that's literally reality. I'm being rational. I'm being accurate. I'm telling the truth. No, you're speaking from emotion. So good job sharing all of that. If any of you are in a similar situation, guys, just make this shit easier on me and easier on yourself. Pay me for coaching. Either pay me one of those $200 coaching calls or join the coaching program. It's really fucking hard to coach all of you. I do my best, but it's really fucking hard to coach you when you write comments and keep doing them. I'll keep doing these videos, but you will make it 10,000 times easier on yourself if you just jump on a coaching call with me. Like this is like literally 1/100th of how much change I can make with you compared to if you were just there on a coaching call. So links in the description below to that. Again, Mr. EMAP, good job opening up. Good job sharing. You were very vulnerable. You were very brave. You did a beautiful job. Start working on that mindset, brother. I would grab the Play to Win video course. In your case, just fucking pay me for coaching, dude. Like, why are you writing comments, man? Come on. What are you doing? Why are you writing YouTube comments? You're someone that's clearly taken a lot of action. Why are you fucking around in the comment section? Come to the coaching program or come on a coaching call with me. Stop messing about. Like, you're basically saying, Andy, can you take me seriously? In a YouTube comment. That's you not taking yourself seriously. If you're serious, you will jump on a coaching call. We'll fix this. We'll change this. We'll improve this properly. Take yourself fucking seriously, brother. And any of the rest of you that are in a similar situation, stop dicking around down there in the comment section. Come on a fucking call and take this seriously. Do this properly. New year, new years, 2025, all that bullshit. Stop messing around. If you want other people to take you seriously, including myself, take yourself seriously.